It's Sandy Parker, and welcome to Crafting for Almost Everyone. Well, today I'm going to show you a bunch of ways that you can do marble backgrounds using a variety of techniques. And I think I came up with maybe 6 ways to do this. I thought it would be fun to see how many I could do, and these are a couple of the examples, but I wanted to show you, so I hope you'll stay tuned and watch with me. So you're going to need a container that has an edge to it. This is a picture frame. There's no back on it. So I'm going to use that to put my shaving cream in, and I'm just going to try and put it in the center here. That's how much I'm going to put in for now. It's probably more than I need, but we're going to play with it. And I'm going to take, this is an old hotel card that I had, and I'm just going to kind of mash my shaving cream around so that I'll have it everywhere where my paper is going to be. And I cut my paper down to roughly, well, the littler ones are the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and then I went up from there. And I'm going to put them off to the side. I'm using food coloring, and they're just your basic Walmart brand of food colors. I'm going to start out with a little bit of yellow. I'm just going to put a couple drops around, another drop there. And then blue, because if I do yellow and blue, it'll make green. And then I'm going to use this pink. The pink I bought at a bulk food store, so it's a little bit different. And I'm just going to move, I'm putting my drops here and there. I'm going to put a couple drops of red. Okay. Then I have this hair pick. If you have one of these, they work good. If you don't, use a comb. And then I'm just going to kind of do a little bit of this. And then we're going to try it out and see how we do. You're just going to lay your paper in it like this. This is going to be messy, and you have to make sure that your paper is in the shaving cream. And then I'm going to get my, move this off the side a little bit, I'm going to get my card again, make sure it's wiped off good, and then you're going to pick up your paper, and then you're just going to take your card and you're just going to swipe it across like that. This is a really fun project for you and your kids. So if you want to do an easy, fun, inexpensive thing, grab somebody's shave cream and some food coloring, and you're good to go. We'll do another one. Don't know what I was putting it over there for. I'm going to put some of this back there. You can use this until your food coloring mess is like you don't have any left, or you've combined it so much that you have a blob of one color, like it turns brown or whatever. And if you have a spot that you didn't get it in there enough, just push it down in more. A couple spots like that. Then hopefully I'm in frame for this part. And take your card, wipe it off, and do it again. So that is the shaving cream technique. We're going to put those off to the side to dry, so we'll be able to see what they look like when they're dry. Let me do one more, just because I have so much of this stuff and I stuck my finger in this piece, so I don't want you to miss out on that. And I'm going to move my colors around so I can get some of these different colors in here. You see how once you start to do this, how the colors start to brown up a little bit? You don't really want that, but man, does this smell good. I'm not kidding you. This shaving cream is lovely smelling. So I've got this one pretty well in my mix. I'm just going to take my card and swipe it down over there. The other thing you could use, like let's say you don't have an old key card or an old credit card or an old gift card, you could use a ruler, you know, a plastic ruler for this, and that would work too. So there is the last one, and that is our technique using shave cream. Next up, we're going to take water. We're going to fill our container about half full. We just want to make sure that our colors will float in there. And put it off to the side. This is a product that you buy at the Dollar Tree. It looks like this. It's called a marbling kit, and you get it in the children's section. And it comes with a rainbow of colors. It comes with red, yellow, blue, white. I'm not sure if the white is really white. Purple and green. So I think on this one I'm going to go with Christmas colors and see what we can come up with. I know when Lindsay, I don't know if I said this already, but Lindsay the Frugal Crafter did this, and when she did it, hers came out really, really, really dull, and she said that that was kind of a disappointment, but I'm going to see if we have the same problem. So I'm going to put some drops in. This, I don't know if you can see this, but this red is really more orange than it is red. I'm going to put some squirts of this around. As I said, we're going for Christmas colors. See if we can get this green to look really good. Our last color we're going to go with is white, so that we can kind of blend out our Christmas colors. Oh, I wanted to tell you too that this one has a leak in it, so when you buy this, you might want to check out to see. It looks like a lot of it either drained out or is just, I don't know, it just doesn't seem like a lot of this is there. I'm going to put a little bit more red because I think the red I kind of did differently than everything else. I kind of put it in dot. Okay, here's the difference with the red and why I did it differently. This red doesn't want to squirt out in streams so much as it does in drops. So just so you know, that's the difference between those. So this is our Dollar Tree set, and I'm going to put it off to the side because we're only going to use the same colors. And the paper I'm using came with one of the marbling kits. It seems like it's just very lightweight, like maybe 65-pound cardstock. It's not watercolor paper. You're going to just drop it in like I just did. It doesn't matter if it's on the back because these are backgrounds, if you'll recall. And I could scrape this off, but I think this one's pretty fun looking. I think I'm going to just leave this one the way it is. And then the next one we'll scrape off. You can add more color as you go, or you can just drop it into the area where you like the pattern that's in your water. That's kind of fun too. I have another technique that's really, really fun. Okay, this one, oh, that one's fun too. I don't know if I want to scrape it off, but we're going to scrape this one off just to see if there is a difference. Yeah, that took most of the color off. See that? So we're not going to do that again. I am going to dip it back in there and then see what we get dipping it a second time. But at least we got some of our color back. It's very dull though. Okay, I'm going to put some more color in here. You're not going to be able to make a ton of these because I'm almost out of the white already, and the green is thicker, definitely a lot thicker, and the red I didn't have. It's the thickest of the three. If you want, you can also stir this around with a paintbrush or the end of a rat tail comb. I think that's what they call them, those combs that have a long end on them. Okay, we're going to try and move this around a little bit. Let's see if we can get this to do anything. It's not looking like it wants to do that. This one, and I'm going to dump it in the back here where it's darkest. The red is kind of globby on it. Is that a word? It is now. We're going with it. Globby. The red is kind of globby on it. And the green is lighter on this one. I have some squares of cardstock that I'm just going to put in here. See how that works. Not bad. It's not as dark as the other ones, but you wouldn't expect it to be because it's near the end of the line. Okay, so that is the Dollar Tree one. I'll come back and show you all of these once they're dry, but in the meantime, I'm just going to show you the technique of all the different styles of ways you can do this, and then we'll come back when each one's dry so we can talk about them so you can see what they look like. Now the next one I bought at Michael's, it's called a marbling kit, and it was on clearance. I don't recommend it because it shows this really nice plastic container. There wasn't a nice plastic container. It was just a really thin white, very, very thin plastic. It wasn't nearly as nice as my picture frame that I'm using. And this one, what they tell you to do is they want you to put 8 ounces of water in your bowl, which I did, and then you're supposed to put the magic powder in. I'm not sure what magic powder is. Someone said they thought it was probably cornstarch or baking soda. I don't know what it is, but I have one other technique we're going to try at the end of something that someone else had told me to try, and so we're going to do that. First, though, I'm going to try and wipe or smear this around so that we end up having this completely. Oh, it kind of coagulates in the water. Huh. That's weird, isn't it? I need a little bit more water in this. And that's weird because the container that they give you is probably twice the size of this one. So, and they tell you to use only 8 ounces of water. That's not much water for as much space as the other one has. So let me get the different colors. It comes with a bunch of colors, and they're much more vibrant than the ones at Dollar Tree, but you would think that they should be because this set was a $30 set, and the only real difference in this set is that you get the plastic bowl, and you got a little stir stick, and I did get the comb with this, and then you get the colors, and the colors have little brushes in them. So we're going to go with this one. I think it's brown. I thought we would try some darker colors. It's kind of cool the way it just makes these blooms. Okay, and then I think I'm going to use some of this green. The green on this one is much darker and kind of like a metallic looking. No, it's not that dark now that I get it out. It looks dark. Okay, then the next color we're going to use is yellow because we haven't used it yet. And then we're going to stir this whole pan around. So those are the colors we're going to start with. I'm not sure what this clear color is. We'll find that out in a little bit. Maybe it does a resist. I don't know. We're going to try and just kind of do some lines. It's weird because I didn't think that the inks would go to the bottom like that, but they definitely all kind of went to the bottom. So the water is much thicker now. Like I said, this is the paper that came with this set, and I'm not sure exactly what it's going to do. Let me set this aside and see if I can put more colors in here. It seems like the colors all sunk to the bottom, which you wouldn't have expected them to do. And then when I use the, I'm going to try using something else on it this time. I'll use the little stir stick and see what it does. See if I can do some blooms within my red. This time we're just going to stick our paper right in this, down in the center of this. I'm going to use the same paper just because this paper looks really pathetic. We'll see if you can do two different dips with it. Well, it's not horrible, but it's not really, really dark like I thought it would be. I'm going to dump in some of this clear and see what the clear does, since it doesn't say, oh, and there's no directions really on the box. It just says basically put the water in and go from there. Don't know what this clear does. It doesn't look like it does anything so far. Okay, so let's put this piece in and see if we can get a really dark. I'm going to move this one out of our way. Oh, that one's frisky. That one's nice. I like that one. I guess that clear does do something, because look at that big white strip. It definitely looks like it's not just plain paper. It looks like it was changed from the white that I put in there. We'll try another one. Nope, it's another dull one. That's a disappointment. But look at how these colors are at the bottom. I'm going to stick it to the bottom and see if I can. If I push all the way to the bottom, I'll see what I get. Well, we got more than we had, but it's still kind of funky looking. Now the scraper just basically takes the color off. So this one, I'm going to say I think it's more of a fail than anything else, because you really don't get much bang for your buck. I'm going to try and dump another batch of the red and green and white and see what we can come up with. A 5x7 piece. Let's see what we get there. Look at the red and the blue and green I have all over my fingers. So pretty. Ooh, that one's frisky. I'm just gonna tilt it that way a little bit. Okay. So that was the Michaels marbling kit. We're going to go on to our next try, and I'll dump this out and we'll be back. Okay, our next technique is going to be with water. Again, it's about maybe a 1/4 of an inch off the bottom, so that's, it's a little bit more water than we had in the last batch. And this time we're using nail polish. I saw my friend Carol Held do this technique, and I never thought I would do it because I'm not really, I don't really experiment much, but I thought this would be fun to try. We're going to go to this darker purpley color. See if we can get some of it to move around a little bit. Maybe I'll just pour it. It does seem to stay on the top of this and doesn't stick to the bottom, which is a really great benefit. And I'm going to use like a purple, a silver, and a white on this. Hopefully I can get this silver out. That came out easy. I'm going to put some more purple in, since that silver's kind of taking over. There's that. And then our other color is going to be this white. Same thing, we're just going to kind of dump it around. Now you can stir this, and I'm going to use this little plastic pick on this so that I can move it back and forth. This one really smells. Unlike the other ones, this one is nasty, so you want to be careful when you're doing this one. You want to have it in a really well ventilated room, and you want to make sure that you get it off the sides if you can. We'll give this one a shot. Of course, since this is nail polish, it's going to have a much different consistency on. See how it's just strings right off of there? We'll do it again, and this time we'll try it with maybe a little smaller piece. And I'm not going to stir it this time. I'll just kind of do that, or we just kind of dump it around a little bit. Okay, let's see how this does. This one is really cool. I mean, it's, other than that gob in the middle, it's really kind of a cool look to it. So let me get another one. Okay, let's pour that in. I'm sure Carol will be able to tell me what I'm doing wrong, that I'm getting these big gobs on mine. Maybe my nail polish is too old, but it looks really fun. I'm enjoying this. It's fun. It smells bad, but it's fun. One more of this. I wanted to show you all these because most of us have old nail polish around. Most of us have men's shave cream and food coloring around. The other ones, not so much. But these ones we do have. So I figured, you know, show you all kinds of different techniques to do this, and you can decide for yourself if you want to give it a try. But I do think it's going to make a really nice background once it dries. This one I'm just going to kind of do this with and see how that moves things. That was weird. Kind of weird. Okay, so that's the last one. It's worse than the other two because I got a lot more gobs of it on there, which I didn't expect, but I did anyway. So I think what I'm going to use this one for is I think I'm just going to kind of clean my water with it, pull it off the sides, and that way cleaning this bowl won't be too hard to do. So let me go on to our next technique. I'll be back in just a minute. Next one we're going to try is with alcohol inks. Now I don't know if this is going to work or not, but I want to give it a try. And I'll tell you, I think Carol used a disposable container for her nail polish one because the parts that stuck to the bottom, even with nail polish remover, didn't really want to come off. So I decided to tell you that. Make sure if you do the nail polish technique you use a disposable one of these. And then this one I'm going to be using watermelon, stream, and citrus. Again, Christmas colors. I thought we'll try and see what it does. I'll probably end up having to really clean my hands after this because this alcohol ink is going to stick to my hands like anything. Well, the citrus doesn't want to open, so we're going to try stream instead. That one comes open. That was kind of cool how it does that, huh? Well, that was kind of weird, wasn't it, how it did that? Okay, let's see what this does. This is the one, again, that's going to really stain your hands. So you could probably wear gloves. I'd probably wear gloves if I was you, but you know me, I'm going to just have filthy hands when I'm done. Okay. That's frisky. Let's see if I can get all of it. It's very pale and not at all what I expected as far as the mixing of the colors, but what the heck, might as well try it, right? I'm sure the other thing we could do is we'd be able to put some drops of it right on our paper too. Look at the second generation versus the first, how much different it is, how much lighter. I'm going to put this over here and see if we can put a few drops right on it. See what it'll do. Let's see what it'll do. If at first you don't succeed, you got to try again, right? I really like this color. This is the stream. Pretty sure. Maybe I'm lying. Citrus, maybe citrus. Put a little more red on there too. And then we'll put the stream on here. Okay. Ooh, moving around. So that is alcohol inks. Now the very last technique I have is actually one that I saw a Stampin' Up! Representative do on a YouTube video. Don't remember who she was. I apologize for that, but it was really, really fun to watch, and I thought, let's do it on a video. With this technique, what you do, you take your papers, and I have some smaller ones here, and you're going to use a little bit of tape runner on the back of your paper, and I just have my one of these snails or Tombow that I broke, so I'll just use it. Then you take a plastic container. This is a Stampin' Up! Container. That's what she used, so I thought, well, I'll just follow what she did because it was easy to do. And it's a sealed box, but you could use Tupperware. You could use basically anything. You're going to take your piece of paper that you just stuck a little bit of adhesive to the back, and you're going to put that on the roof like that. You see that? I've got marbles in here. Marbling technique, you get it so far? And then what you're going to want to do, I'm taking my marbles and I'm leaving them at this end, and I'm going to use some Handsome Hunter and some Real Red. Those are very Christmassy colors. And you're going to put drops of this re-inker on the bottom of your tray. Like that. And I think I have roughly, let's say, 10 to 15 drops. And then I'm going to take my red, and we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to put it around. Wait till you see how much fun this is. You're not going to believe how much fun this is. You know I love anything that makes a big mess, and this is not it. Darn it! I made big messes already. This is all a self-contained mess. Okay, so you have your paper stuck to the top. You have your re-inker and your marbles on the bottom. You're going to roll your marbles around a little bit to get it going. Ready? Then you're going to flip it over, and you're going to take your marbles, and you're just going to take them and roll them again. You're going to just roll them all over. Again, you're going to go back. You're going to take them and put them on the ink again, and then put them on the top. We'll stop and see what we got. Tell me that wasn't fun. There you have it. I need to move it over. I had it too far to one side. And then you just take it off. But that is a marbled background. Isn't that fun? I need more red on it this time, I think. Like that. And I think I'm going to put a little bit more red on there. You can do a lot of these because you have your marbles are covered, and you have the whole project already rolling. You just need to add more papers, basically. So we're going to close it up, make sure it's closed, and then we're going to roll our marbles around again, flip it over, of all the techniques, this one is my favorite, just because you can do so many things with it. Like if you wanted to just take beige and brown, you could make something that actually looks like Italian marble. And in my case, I can't get the top off. In my case, I wanted Christmas backgrounds, and I mean, you're getting Christmas backgrounds. Isn't that fun? We'll do one more of this, and then we'll check out some of ours are dry. The other thing that's nice about this is it dries really fast. They're dye-based inks, so it's not like you're going to have trouble cleaning it off either, because they should wash off. You can use any of your dye-based re-inkers, so if you want to try it with your oxide inks, you could try those. See what, if you have the re-inkers, you probably could just press your ink pads into the bottom of it too and go with it that way. This is so much fun. I think my red and my green are starting to blend. See how it's turning a brownish color now? My red's more brown than it was before. There's that one. All you have to do when you're done with this is wash out your container and wash off your marbles. But here are the 3 that we did. There's that. And they're all dry. This one I think is, weirdly enough, the red in this one looks more orange, even though it's the same exact color. Can you see that? That's weird. This one's more orange than this. So that was our project with the marbles. So let's go through the rest of them and see what they all look like. The very first thing we did was with the food coloring. There are the 3 we did with food coloring, and they came out nice and bold. I think, you know, when they dried, they're bold. You can run this through your Big Shot or your Cuttlebug, you know, whatever machine to flatten them if you want to, or put a heavy book on them. But they're dry now, so it's, you know, you can flatten them out. Then the next one we did was with the Dollar Tree Kids paper. Let me grab the second one. So as they dried, just like when Lindsay did it, as they dried, they do seem to get much lighter. Although this one doesn't seem as light as these 2. These ones are still wet. This one isn't as wet, but those 2 are still pretty wet. And that would be our Dollar Tree colors. The next were the ones that we made from what we bought at Michael's. This one has a really big pool in the center of it. I don't know if you can see that big pool, but it's a big pool of green in the middle of it. And so these were the first 2 that we did that we thought were really going to look good, and then this was the last one, and I stuck my finger in some brown and got it on there. So that one is going in the trash. It's not acceptable. Then our next one we made was with the, I think this is with alcohol inks. Yeah, this is one of my alcohol inks. This is the other with the alcohol ink. One I didn't monkey with, and one I definitely did, where I put droplets of water, or of the alcohol ink into the water. And that's those. Then probably my favorite result, and I didn't expect it to be this way, is the one that we did with the nail polish. The colors, maybe it's because of the colors I didn't go with a Christmassy theme, but they really came out, because of that silver, they really came out pretty frisky looking. I really, get off that one. I really like the look of these 2. This one has a big gob of silver. I don't know if you can see that. But it would be great if you were looking to do a mixed media type product or project. This is starting to get hard, so it's going to dry. Can you see how tall that is? I mean, there's definitely some dimension there. But I really like the look of these 2, I guess because that silver really makes it glittery. And then the 2 that I have from Michael's, I think they're really pretty too. And then, of course, the one that is the easiest, I think, to do, and the thing you could do with your kids that should be really easy, is the one with the actual marbles. So you get a marbling technique for marbles. You can't ask for more than that. That's just too much fun. I hope you enjoyed this and that you'll give one of these marbling techniques a try. We will definitely be using at least one of these in an upcoming project. I wanted to have some backgrounds for Christmas, and now I definitely do. Some of these colors that I thought would be Christmassy obviously are not, and some of them that some I just thought would be fun to just make, like the ones with the food coloring. So you'd be able to figure out which colors would make what kind of fun things. You can use the food coloring in a container with marbles too. That would be easy to do, and so that's another option for you. I hope you enjoyed this, that you'll give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Please tell one friend about me on social media, because you know I love that. And thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.